Hello viewers, welcome to my Doctor Who themed YouTube channel, Who Ventures. And this video is another review video because I'm really excited. I love this week as well. I loved it. There's just so much to unpack, and I haven't covered every detail because I got really behind on my notes because there were so many alien places and alien names and I can't spell them that fast, so I got most of it covered, but please excuse if I don't remember certain names or things because there's so much in this week's episode. So this is my review of Doctor Who Series 11 Episode 2, The Ghost Monument. And oh my gosh, the titles. Gorgeous titles. It reminded me of like lava lamps. And amazing. They're very different to what has gone before, but also a very sort of retro vibe. So far it was interesting. I was a little bit disappointed we didn't see Jodie's face in the opening titles, but they look amazing and the theme's amazing too. So we left the previous episode with them hanging in space, and we arrive at Ryan's pupils and irises in his eyes, and they're full of stars. I thought that was beautiful. And then they're not in space for too long because their spaceship comes and it's like an arcade grabber, like in Toy Story with the green aliens, and it sort of scoops them up. So I thought that was quite funny. And then there's a close-up on Graham. Oh, Bradley Walsh has got such a cute nose. I love the close-ups. I thought that was really, really sweet, and they just looked amazing. And he's with Ryan, and Ryan's waking up, and then he finds out, Graham tells him that they're on a spaceship, and Ryan starts like, we're on a spaceship, we're in space, we're in space, we're on a spaceship. And I thought that was very good, how they've got more realistic expressions from the companions than the Moffat era. And they're like the Moffat era, they apart from Rory, they didn't seem to like be that amazed by what or distressed by what was happening to them. But this Ryan's proper freaking out, and but Graham's trying to calm him down, but Graham's also a bit scared too. And there's this the woman pilot, and she's called Armstrong, well, she's called Armstrong or something. And she scooped him up, and she's just off to the final planet. And then she's saying, you're a funny little bonus to Ryan. And I didn't like her at that point. I thought, oh, don't be mean to Ryan, like. But so I didn't particularly like her at first. And Graham, I like that Graham stood up to the pilot and demanded, where are we? Well, what? You gotta take us back to you gotta find his friends. And so then we got to Yaz and the Doctor, and they're on a different ship with the bloke pilot, and he is called Epso, and Yaz is freaking out at that point. So I love the realistic reactions from the companions. And the pilot explains that they go and land on a planet, and the planet's called Desolation. And then the Doctor's looking round at his ship and saying, "Oh, this is old. This should be on Antiques Roadshow." And I thought that was cute. And I thought the Doctor, she just took charge and got everything started, getting everything fixed. And I liked how she just went in, right, we're doing this, this, and this. And I felt like lost, like, what's happening? What's she doing? What? That's all spacey, wacy, ag. And that was how Yaz would have been feeling. So I thought that was really good, because I thought that was awesome. And turns out she's blown the back of the spaceship, and that's going to help them to land. So Ryan and Graham have landed on the planet with the pilot, and Ryan said, "We're in space as alien planet," and Graham says, "Well, the three suns are a bit of a clue, because there's 3 suns in the sky." And so they are following the pilot lady, and then the Doctor is fixing things on the bloke ship, and they're just flying the ship to get it to land, and the spaceship's coming down, and it's sort of a crash landing. And then she says brace, and there's a close-up on Jodie's face. I just loved all the close-ups in this. And the Doctor's is like, "Oh, sorry about the mess," and says, "Welcome to your first alien planet. Don't touch anything." And apparently, because episode had the Doctor and Yaz, and Amsterdam had Ryan and Graham, they're like bonuses, but we don't really understand what bonuses means at this point in the story. And then Graham is getting loads of sand in his eyes, and the Doctor lends him some sunglasses, and they're either Audrey Hepburn's or Pythagoras' sunglasses, but I think they're Audrey Hepburn sunglasses. I thought it looked cute. Then we see sort of a piece of material on the sand, and it's sort of moving a bit. And then Graham inquires why they can hear English and it's not all alien, and it's because the Medipods have put a translator in Graham, and Graham's like, "Stop putting things inside me." I thought that was good. And then they arrive at this tent, and it's a big throny place, and there's a guy in there, and he's like, and that at that particular point, it sort of reminded me of the Grand Master in Thor Ragnarok. And then the Doctor's introducing everybody, and then it turns out this big throny guy, he's a hologram, and it's like this big race, and it's Rally of the 12 Galaxies, and it's like Paris-Dakar Rally, but over through space, and the prize money is 3.2 trillion kren, and then they go through all that. Yeah, but how much is that? And then they say a different currency from a different planet, and then it says, and then they say another currency from another planet, so you still don't know what it is in pounds. And I thought that was funny. And the winner of this big rally gets a comfortable life on a nice planet, but the loser gets stuck on the Desolation planet. And then our TARDIS team are saying that they're human beings, and the woman says, "I don't know what human beings are." I thought that was funny. And then this rally boss is actually projecting his hologram from a long way away, and turns out he was one of the winners, and he is like making a race against. So it's like Top Gear in space. And then they said you have to the end goal of the race is to get to the Ghost Monument. And then I thought, oh, I bet it's the TARDIS. And then he produced a hologram, and it is the TARDIS. So, and the Doctor's really pleased that she's found how to get to the TARDIS. And but the TARDIS engines are stuck in a loop, and it's sort of related to how this planet rotates. So the doctor says, right, let's get a shift on. And they go running off to sort out this, to do this race to get to the Ghost Monument. And then we have a sweet little chat with, well, hang on, we have Graham, Ryan still not calling him Grandad, so there's a bit of tension there. And then the pilots are arguing, and then the doctor comes up and she just does something with a little finger or her finger, and she knocks him out cold, and she's Grandmaster Pacifist in Venusian Aikido, and the nuns on Venus, they sort of invented the Venusian Aikido thing, and they're really good. Then Angstrom talks about how there was sort of that war on her planet and her family was separated. And then the doctor scans the water and it turns out it's really poisonous and toxic. And then we're inside a sort of boat tenty thing, and Ryan and Graham are chatting about Grace. So Flora's really sweet, and Ryan's still upset with Graham, and then they start talking about the battery and the engine and start to figure out what it is. And the doctor comes in and she's like, great work, lads, and she's really proud of him. And then we find out the woman's from the planet of Albar, and Albar was systematically cleansed and of ethnic cleansing, and she's trying to get her family back together. So the guy, they're on this boat thing, and the guy pilot talks about when he was little, his mum said, climb up this thing, jump off and I'll catch you. So he climbed up, he jumped off, and she just stepped to one side and let him just crash to the ground. And she said, that's to teach you don't trust anyone. And our team thought that was like messed up and everything. And then the doctor said, see, we're stronger together, because your mum was wrong. I thought, we're stronger together. Is that a sneaky little Brexit politicisation? I thought that. And then this race is over 209 terrains on 94 planets. And then they're in the boat and everybody's like really exhausted and they start falling asleep. So, and then we see things through Ryan's eyes again, because Graham is waking him up because it's time to get off the boat. And then Enzo has this cigar, and he says, oh, you just click it on and it lights up. So he's basically got an e-cigarette, but an e-cigar, but he just thinks it's like a cool cigar. He doesn't realise that we've got them on Earth. And then they find these ruins, and they look kind of like, they're like sort of like a Scalextric racetrack or a Disneyland ride with a diner, like Luke. So they start climbing up these sand dunes, and the guy pilot, he goes in, and then we see that it's actually the sensors and trackers in the ruins. Then the sun's starting to set, and they've been told that don't be outside at night time. So, but then these soldiers just pop up, and they're like robot guards, and the doctor's saying, it's fine, we'll just back away calmly. But then Epso, he shoots one, so he sets off all these guards. So the doctor gets the team to start running away and running away in a squiggly line, and then she sees these holes cut in the side of a building and says, right, through here, in here. And they get inside this room, and there's these, and the robots are sniper bots, and there's human-shaped targets. And then Ryan, he finds it, the alien gun, says, right, I'll shoot them all. And he said, yeah, I play Call of Duty. So he runs outside with this gun and he shoots a couple. But then he's like, oh no, how to reload my gun? He's like, ah! It's so funny. That bit was so funny. I loved that bit. And and then the doctor says, no, we gotta think cleverer than they do. And she finds this electromagnetic pulse that can disable the robots. And she says, see, brains beat bullets. And I thought, yeah, because that's what Americans need to be taught. And then I loved it. And then they used the woman pilot found a tracker in this place. So the doctor uses a tracker, and then they have to climb back up a ladder. No, they have to climb down a ladder through this manhole to get to this other area. And Ryan's don't like climbing on the ladders, but Yaz is like, is he getting easier? And he says, and Yaz waited for Ryan, so I think Yaz is really caring and lovely. And then Graham sees some scorch marks on the walls, and then there's a big locked door, and the doctor sonics it, and they find this lab-like place, and the doctor wants to know what happened on this planet. Then Epso goes off to have another sleep, and then the doctor finds something, and then Yaz and Ryan see surveillance footage and the robot snipers have found the way to the hatch. So it turns out there was a group of scientists and they were forced to find new ways to destroy things and to build creatures that attack and everything that destroys stuff. And they were forced by the Stenza, which is the species that Tim Shaw was in the first episode. And it turns out that Armstrong and Graham both lost their wives to the Stenza, the evil Stenza. But then, and so these rags, these sort of bandages, get Epso, and they start cleaning up the wounded, and that sort of reminded me of the Nanogens a bit, where but they weren't really thinking they were helping, they were just attacking and cleaning up. And then the underground there's like life support system, so there's enough air and everything they need inside, but the robots shut that down, and outside there's acetylene gas. Now I don't know if that's what defeats Slitheen as well, or if Slovene because the doctor sort of worked out you can beat Slovene with vinegar. So anyway, Ryan has to climb up another ladder and is really nervous because he don't like climbing under pressure, but the doctor is just so encouraging and really says she's so proud of him and that he can do it, and she tells him a distraction technique, which is think about what acetylene gas does, because he's studying engineering and he thinks about that as he's climbing up. And so the bandages are outside and they feed on fears, and they start talking about the doctor being the timeless child, the outcast, abandoned. But the doctor thinks they found a memory that she doesn't understand, she doesn't know about. And then the properties of acetylene, because she's got Ryan to think about it, is it smells like garlic and it's lighter than air. And then she gets Ryan to think, and it's flammable, very flammable. So she Graham gets this light up cigar, e-cigar from Epsom, and blows up the acetylene gas, which blows up the bandages, and all the team have to lie on the floor, and the doctor says teamwork, and then there's really nice, really lovely expression on Yaz's face. It's like, yeah, we're a team, we're together. She's so good. And then they find the tent, which is the finish line, but the TARDIS isn't there, and the doctor's really disappointed. So Armstrong goes right, I'm the winner, I'm going to win. And then Epso says, but I had the cigar. And then the doctor sort of gets them to work together and go in and proclaim that we're both winners, we're dual winners, and they get the Ilin guy to persuade him to make it a dual win. So Epso and Armstrong get to have the prize, both have the prize, but the doctor and the team are just left stranded on the planet on the rocks, and the doctor's really sad and like really disappointed with herself. But Yaz and Ryan are being really supportive, and Graham said, we're not going to give up, and all the team are really supportive. And then the TARDIS is arriving, and so she uses her sonic because it tracks the TARDIS, and says, come to daddy, I mean mummy, I thought I was cute. And then says, my beautiful ghost monument. I thought that was so beautiful. And she's sees the TARDIS, and she's like hugging the TARDIS, said, hello you, I've missed you. And it says, oh, I forgot my key. Well, the TARDIS opens her door for her, and oh, it's so sweet. And then she goes, I left it a bit of a mess in here, but the TARDIS is redecorated. So she goes in, and the TARDIS is redecorated, and there's like loads of sort of gear things, and orange hexagons on the floor, and it's like the console is sort of very metallic, very plumbery, but also kind of circuitry, more plumber metallic circuitry rather than organic. But the framework is crystal, which is organic-y. So it's a lot more toolbox with a hint of organicness. It's more angular rather than curved. And she said, after quite a pause, she said, when she goes in, she says, you've redecorated. And obviously, we've heard that line before with the 10th Doctor saying, you've redecorated. I don't like it. But this time, there's a big pause and says, I really like it. And, I love, and then she turns to the team, this is my TARDIS. And it's just really warm. I like when the TARDIS has a warm atmosphere. And then Ryan is, can I press it? And the doctor says, no. That was funny. And she's like, just start believing. And then we see her starting up the TARDIS. And oh my gosh! The mechanisms, there's an actual model TARDIS that spins round, and it's like sort of lit up and oh my god, that is so going to be merch, I expect. And just the way she starts the TARDIS, it's so more interesting. And the best bit of the TARDIS, there's a biscuit dispenser. It looked like a custard cream, because she's like looking at the TARDIS like a biscuit, it flirts out a biscuit like, and then she's got a biscuit, and I'm not sure, I can't remember, William Hartnell had a food machine, but I don't know if he had a biscuit dispenser, but he did have food, but is their biscuit dispenser, and she ate a biscuit. And it's beautiful. And then we had the end credits, but the BBC's voiceover announcer talked over the end credits. So BBC, please don't talk over the end credits, because that's really annoying. But I love this is so magical. But well, this episode I sort of, because I sort of have a bit of synesthesia, I sort of got a bit travel sick. It's like I loved it. There's so much to unpack in this episode, and probably so much that I missed because I was doing my notes. I loved it. I loved Jodie. I loved all the close-ups. I love Mandip Gill can just express so much with just her face, just an expression. This is so good, and Ryan is so lovely, and Graham's so lovely, and everybody's amazing. I love Jodie. So my mum really enjoyed it, and she really likes Bradley in it, and my dad thought it was very good too. So they're a lot more engaged with Series 11 and Jodie's Doctor and this companion team than they were like for a few years. So this, but actually Mum says, I don't think I'd ever like Doctor Who. But, and I just loved it. I loved it so much. So thank you so much to everybody who's watching my reviews. And I'll put the notes that I made next at the end of this video. I love it. I love it. I love all of it. Oh my gosh. And if you want to know where this jumper is from, this is from Quirty, but I don't know if it's available at the moment because you have to buy it. You only get one day to purchase each design, but they might put it in the tea shop. So I might go on Redbubble and get a few more themed tops to wear for my videos. So I loved it. So again, thank you to all of the cast and crew. You're absolutely brilliant and amazing, and thank you to everybody who is watching my videos. So I hope you have enjoyed this video, and thank you for watching. Yay!